Hello and welcome to The Lucky Roll, an eclectic channel for eclectic games, and today we're going to be unboxing Gale Force 9's Aliens Get Away From Her, You Bitch expansion. Based on the Aliens Another Glorious Day in the Core game, and of course the official expansion to it. This one includes the Alien Queen, Power Loader Ripley adorned with Newt, Bishop in one piece, and Bishop in bits. It also comes with a whole load of new tiles. It also comes with expanded missions from the original Another Glorious Day in the Core game. And it also comes with a new scenario in which you can play as the aliens defending the alien nest. So if there was an expansion you have to pick up for Aliens Another Glorious Day in the Core, I think it has to be this one. Now, of course, to be in with a chance to win your very own copy of Aliens Another Glorious Day in the Core, please check the end of the video for details about our competition. So, with no further ado, let's open this up and see what we have inside. So, opening the box for the very first time, we are greeted with the rulebook, which is again in the shape of the comic. Not a very elaborate rulebook. It's only 12 pages long. So that means you're not going to be wasting too much time getting to grips with it. We have, of course, here the contents sheet. We have what's new in the expansion, including the extended campaign, bug hunts, and playing as the alien hive, which should be a great way to shake up your game. You've got details moving large models and details on the power loader, and of course the APC mission, which I cannot wait to see. So that is the rule book. We have here, of course, the mission scenarios. So we'll open this and see what we have. Now, some of these are expansions on the original game. So we have here, of course, Mission 1, Newt, where you meet Newt for the very first time. We have Mission 2 here, Escape, which I think is the first time you go to check out the colonists. And yep, that's, as you can see here, this is the picture of when they went into the actual nest to find the colonists. So we have here Mission 3, Survive, and we have, of course, here the dropship. So I presume the aim of this mission is to get out Buttus and Tactus. As you can see here, it's the sentry guns, and you have, of course, Hicks trying to take the facehugger off Ripley. Mission 4 is Retrieve. Now, I think this is the one where you go into the lair of the alien queen to retrieve Newt. Now, as you can see here, here's Ripley with her flamethrower cooking all the eggs, and the alien queen herself. Man, that was such an epic part of the movie. We have Mission 5, the Sulaco, which I presume is when the queen, comes into the actual ship. Now, of course, everyone must have seen the movie at this stage, but this was the absolute penultimate battle in the entire movie, where Ripley took on the alien queen with the power loader, and as you can see, she's here, and of course you've got the messed up Bishop there. Cannot wait to play that mission. Now, this is one that I was really looking forward to, the APC Chase. One of the best things in the movie was the scene where they just escaped from the nest in the APC. This is when Ripley came into her own. She saw the soldiers, the Marines, in trouble, took over the APC, drove straight into the nest, got the survivors out, and just plowed her way out through it. Now, as you can see here, you've got 6 tiles in a row where you're trying to escape with the APC, and I presume the aliens are trying to attack you all the way. So that is one mission I cannot wait to try. We have here Bug Hunt, the Queen Hunt. So I presume this is where Ripley comes in and cooks all the alien eggs. Yep, you must enter the air processing plant to hunt down and kill the alien queen and all of her eggs. So if you're tired of the humans getting bashed around the place, this is your opportunity to dole out a bit of revenge. We have another one here, Bug Hunt, Queen's Gambit. The alien queen is on the rampage. Use all of your firepower to destroy her before it's too late. So as you can see, a nice big huge map mixed up with nests. We got plenty of eggs here. I presume the start for the alien queen here, and the APC here. We have another one, Bug Hunt, Barracks, which I presume is when you come in for the first time. Yep, your fire team was on patrol when it was ambushed. Regroup and hold out until reinforcements can arrive. So this is another unique mission. I think you have a power loader symbol here, so there's some interesting mechanics being brought into it. You have Bug Hunt, Separated, where the alien assault has taken you by surprise. You must gather together and defeat the alien hordes. So as you can see here, you have the map is split into a U shape. So I presume you need to regroup and rearm and take the fight to the enemy. And finally, bug hunt evacuation, where you have the APC here, the power loader, and a whole load of extra goodies. You are trapped in an outpost that is under siege from an alien horde. The evacuation transport has arrived. Get out as many as you can, as fast as you can. Players do not use Newt, and they do not get any starting equipment or weapons other than a Hockler Koch VP-70 pistol. Now that's going to be an interesting mission to take on. We have here the assembly guide. Now as you can see, there's a little bit more of an assembly to the alien queen, but that's because she's such a huge model. So a little bit more complicated than the core set. The same thing here with the power loader. As you can see, you've got step 1 with Ripley, step 2 with the feet and the body being put together. And most, of course, of the characters when it comes to the assembly are straightforward enough that it's just basically putting a piece onto a base. Here, Ripley is slightly more complicated, but what is really cool here is they got the pulse rifle and the flamethrower in one. That was one of the coolest parts in the movie. And of course, as any soldier will tell you, duct tape or electrical tape is one of the most important things in anyone's arsenal. It is just something that is so useful. And basically, Ripley duct taped the two weapons together, took it down, and kicked arse. So this is the assembly guide. We have here the tokens. Now you have, of course, the heroic side and the passive side. So we've got Ripley in our normal picture here. We've got Bishop, and on the other side we have Bishop with his famous line, "I may be synthetic, but I'm not stupid." And you have, of course, enraged Ripley, "Get away from her, you bitch." Now this was an epic part of the movie where we thought all was lost and the two of them were just waiting to be eaten. You have, of course, all the usual tokens here. We have what look like to be scanner tokens here. We have what seems to be power loader aspects here. We have more vents, more Weyland-Yutani storage capacities. Now this looks like to be bits of acid blood or bullet holes, certainly acid on the floor, and we have a new dial counter here with an interesting looking font. Now this is a font that reminds me of Alien Resurrection. It might not exactly be that, but I'd say this is a dial for the aliens when you're playing the alien player. So it does stand out quite nicely, and we have plenty of eggs, and of course we have the doors here in the penultimate face-off between Ripley and the Queen, where she was trying to suck the thing out into space. We have here a new kind of cardstock here, so I presume this is for the Aliens game. This looks like to be the APC, so you've got driver, front turret gunner, scanner, repair, door gunner, rear target gunner, so I presume you go to different parts of the APC to keep it going. You have what looks like to be bullet holes in the armor, probably for the APC, and you have two new ammo counters. And yes, it is double-sided, and look how cool that is. That is the actual APC itself. Now, I don't know if it's economically viable or not, but if Gale Force 9 did release a kind of a 3D version of the APC, I'd say it would be more than just the board gamers getting it. But if you do get it or produce something like that, you can definitely count on me buying one to unbox it on this channel. We have here plenty of new tiles. So we have 4 new extra tiles. So this looks like it's the on board the Sulaco, because I can see here these are the stasis pods. This is where the Marines were kitting up for the very first time. This is where we got to be introduced to so many of them. That looks like the mess hall where they were eating, and that's just another door out, but that's interesting that it's literally aboard the USS Sulaco. This is an alien tile, as you can see, with the nest, spaces for eggs, all sorts of gooey things here. We have here a dropship. Oh, this I think is on the US Sulaco again, because as you can see here, this is where the doors go for the penultimate scene between Ripley and the alien. So I presume that's where you need to kick her out into space. This, of course, is the dropship when they got ambushed with it, and I presume you've pieces here where Newt was crawling underneath it. The other side is... Yes, this is actually, I remember the scene. This is the scene, basically, Ripley went in, got Newt, got back out, was waiting to lift off to safety with Bishop and discovered that the dropship was gone. It was a horrible point in the movie because we thought they were going to get eaten and the alien queen was coming in. This is when the whole kind of atmosphere processing was set to explode, as you can see here. But at the last second, Bishop comes in with the drop pad to rescue them. So I presume that's one of the missions you play in this, is that you have to survive long enough for the drop pod to come in and pick them up. And it's really cool, actually, that you have that scene here on one of the tiles. We have another storage bay scenario. We've got, this is probably the place where they were loading up the ammo. So I think a lot of these tiles seem to be either on the Sulaco or in the, well, a lot on the Sulaco, but one is in the actual processing center over there. We have another big huge tile. Now I think this is the one where the APC is escaping, actually, because it's nice and big but fit here, and I presume this is where the aliens come in, and you repeat this tile 6 times over for the APC mission. And we have another dropship tile here with storage containers, and yes, I would presume that these are the APC missions. So basically you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 to escape. Now that will be a class mission to play. I cannot wait to try that one out. We have here the alien queen. So as you can see, it's got perfect detail on it. This is going to be a beautiful big chunky model. Now as you can see from the size of the base alone, this is going to be a very dominating piece on the table. Great detail. You can see the tiny little arms that it has. You can see the big huge hand that the thing has. That was the one where it was kind of lifting up the craters to try and get poor old Newt. You have the regular arms here. I just want to see if I can find the actual evil tongue on the thing. Here it is, the actual big evil tongue that came out and was snapping at Ripley when she was in the power loader. So even though the assembly instructions made it look like there was a lot to it, it would snap together easily enough. And of course a nice big huge foot there. So this is going to be something that's going to look fantastic on the actual table. And we have here the next sprue, which of course is the humans. Now this is the base for the power loader, so it's nearly as big. It's the same size as the alien queen one. We have Ripley here holding Newt, which is in great detail, and that's going to be a great thing to paint. We have here the bits of the power loader that you assemble. We have Bishop here, unfortunately completely goosed. I hope he's still under warranty, but I doubt it. But he's, as you can see, he's in bits with goop everywhere. And this is Bishop in one piece, I presume in his default factory settings. And we have here Ripley as she fits into the power loader. And I have to say, lads, the detail is great. I cannot wait to paint this up, and I cannot wait to try this expansion out. We have here tiny little bits that are used for the dials. We have alien cards, which I presume is what you use when you're playing the alien. We have more mission cards, and we have the motion tracker cards. So let's check under the box. Nope, everything is good to go. So putting the box aside, and I just noticed we have here poor old Hudson saying, hey, maybe you haven't been keeping up on current events, but we just got our asses kicked, pal. This was a perfect compliment to the APC mission. You know, Burke, I don't know which species is worth. You don't see them effing each other over for a goddamn percentage. That was such a class line from Ripley, and a great sense of betrayal from within. I may be synthetic, but I'm not stupid. Bishop showing, well, I know he was a synthetic, but he showed a fair bit of courage when he went out on his own to try and pilot the remote dropship down. And of course, Burke, the guy whose fault everything it is Ripley. I know, Ripley, you know, I expected more from you. I thought you'd be smarter than this. This was him trying to sleaze his way out of it. So, yeah, sorry, to me, a box sets the tone for a board game, and just seeing this is great fan service. So I'm delighted to see that little detail in the game as well. So opening the new deck of cards for the Marines, we have, so the first card we have is Acid Blood. And next thing we have, well, we've plenty of Acid Blood. There's Lots of blood in this game. We have the facehugger attack, and as you can see, we have a picture here of Ripley and Hicks trying to tear the damn thing off her. We have here Quiet Reflection, which is an interesting scene from the extended movie. This was a moment where Ripley is coming to terms with the death of her natural daughter, who, would you believe it, died of old age while she was frozen. You have here deep-seated trauma for poor old Newt, and I wouldn't blame her, you know, after what she's gone through. I can imagine she's in a counsellor for years and years and years after that. You have overwhelming losses. Same thing again. This is Ripley lamenting the loss of her natural-born daughter, which is why the connection between herself and Newt in the movie is so strong. You have mission briefing. So this is after they got their butts kicked and are trying to, well, basically bunker in and wait for support. You have here it's the only way to be sure, one of the best lines in the movie, because basically they just evacuated the atmosphere processor where they tried to escape the nest, and this is where they were talking about nuking the entire site from orbit. Get away from her, you bitch. Of course, the name of the expansion, but also I think one of the best lines in the movie. I know this is a movie with so many fantastic lines, but this was a pure catfight between Ripley and the alien queen. You have taking time to research, so this is Bishop obviously looking at the facehugger. Not bad for a human. Now, I was talking about good lines. To me, I think this is the only cheesy line in the movie. I don't know, it was just a kind of a naff line. I know it's you need some sort of palpable relief after the alien queen has just been defeated, but nevertheless it was a cheeseball line, and I don't know how Bishop, or the actor playing Bishop, Lance Henriksen, didn't kind of groan internally from it. I'd say that's why they covered him so much goop, so he could pretend not to say it. You have here jury-rigged interface, and of course this is Hudson hacking into the outside of the colony. You have do the thing with the knife, which was brilliant. This is where we learned that Bishop was a synthetic, because he played five-finger fillet at an unnatural speed. You have the microscope. You have Commander's comlink. So this is Lieutenant Burke checking in with all the Marines. You have the M4 helmet, modeled there, of course, by Newt. You have shoulder lamp, which was, well, a practical thing. You have body armor, which saved Hicks's life, of course, once the alien bled all over him. You have the arc welder, which, you know, not something you'd ever expect Marines to bring along, but bought them so much time, especially. I think this thing was literally on Vasquez the entire time as she sealed doors after them to try and stop the things getting in. The combat knife, of course, the scene where the five-finger fillet, and interestingly enough, that's where the scene where basically Hudson is literally saying, do the thing with the knife. You have here, of course, combat knife. There's 3 of them, 4 of them. You have the Heckler Koch VP-70 pistol. You have the M40 grenades, of course, the classic pulse rifle, and these are all the Marine cards. Now, moving on to the motion tracker cards, we have... What do you mean they cut the power? They're animals, man. What do you mean they cut the power? One of the best lines from Hudson, just before the aliens made their assault. You have flanking aliens. You have they mostly come at night. Mostly. One of the not very reassuring words from Newt. You have flanking aliens. Flanking aliens, flanking aliens. You have the Queen's aura. You have more Queen's aura, so she's... well, a lot of aura around her, I suppose she's very smelly. You have the Alien Assault. Plenty of those cards. We have they're inside the perimeter. I remember that line where they were sussing out... yes, basically Vasquez and Hudson were on patrol and they realized that they were getting readings inside the perimeter and they couldn't figure out where they were coming from. You have Queen's Aura. You have False Alarm. Alien Assault, more false alarms. The Queen's Guard, which is an interesting one. Of course, that's a classic scene when Ripley is actually in the nest and you can see the alien queen which made it quite frightening actually, the level of intelligence they had, telling the guard to back off because she pointed the flamethrowers at the eggs. You have here, of course, the alien lurker, same image as nearly as the Queen's Guard. We have here the alien phase steps. Now, as you can see, this is... there's a game that has a solo mode in this as well, which are the next cards. Now, as you can see, this is the alien deck, and the powers that this gives you is overwhelming, which is naturally enough because that's what aliens do, they swamp you. You have single purpose, you have cunning, and you have tenacious. Now that would definitely be a word to describe the aliens or the xenomorphs. You have resourceful, you have impulsive, you have driven, you have cautious, you have reactionary, you have unrelenting, another good word for the xenomorphs, and you have cornered prey. We have strength in numbers, so more of the kind of the swarm, Zerg type of tactics with them. You have in the walls, which as poor old Corporal Dietrich found out. You have come out at night. You have turn out the lights, which of course is a great sign for an impending assault. And you have, of course, down here at the bottom, 2 instincts, so obviously this gives you certain powers to work with or play with. You have weakened, you have closing in, you have tail whip, which is what goosed poor old Bishop near the end of the movie. You have dwindling resources, you have chest burster, you have hidden paths, you have face hugger, which is hate those things. You have calculated attack, you have blind instinct, you have sacrifice for the hive. Now that's an interesting card to play. You have hive learning, you have hidden numbers, flawless approach, surprise attack, and finally acid blood. Oh, sorry. Yep, 2 cards of acid blood. So that was the alien deck. Now that is everything you get in this box of Aliens Get Away From Her, You Bitch expansion. And as always, if you enjoyed this unboxing, please like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. And until next time, good luck, God bless, and stay safe.